Hello everybody and welcome back to my show. Today I want to talk about something that I really surprised myself that I want to talk about, and that is Chinese manufactured watches. Why I think they're actually a really good idea and where I see some disadvantages in them. Anyhow, let's get on with it. So, I'm going to start off with a little story about my brother. He wears digital watches primarily. I see his point for wearing them. He's too lazy to learn the watch, or he doesn't want to. It's up to him really to decide what. But he wears digital watches. Now, I own a few digital watches. I own my this one, which is the F91W. This was the first real watch I ever had. My father got it for me. I think I was 6 or 7. I still have. I did replace the battery, and I did get for it a replaceable strap, which I don't have on. I have on a different watch, but I still have it. If I want to wear a digital watch, this is probably what I'll go for. And I have this one, which is also a Casio. Casios are really good watches. This one was my grandfather's. Again, it doesn't have a strap. The plastic is broken. This is a diving watch that was his. And I keep it here by my desk, so I have a little clock by my desk. So those are my digital watches. I had a G-Shock. I got rid of it because I wasn't wearing it at all. I sold it to someone who needed it. But he gets his watches primarily from AliExpress for really cheap. They last him pretty decent amount of time. And then he replaces them when they go bad with another cheap watch from AliExpress. And I always thought that was a dumb idea and teased him a lot about it, especially since I've been wearing more expensive watches. I mean, I have this Fossil, which I really like. I have this one, which is Swiss Military, which is a really nice watch. And a few others I don't have right in front of me. And, some nice Casios that cost more and last a little longer. But in the long run, they are about the same thing. And he buys 10 watches at the time that I buy one, but the battery lasts about the same amount of time. And him, instead of replacing a battery, just buys a new watch. I can replace a battery, pay about the same thing he pays for a new watch. And then I bought this thing. This is a watch from AliExpress from a company called Curren. I think you spell it Curren. And I really liked it. I had it for, about 2 years, and then the battery died. And instead of replacing it, I decided, let's do a video $50 EDC challenge. And I bought this one, the one I've been wearing now, and I've been wearing quite a lot lately. This is a Kingnos, I don't know how to pronounce it. Also, it's a day-date watch, which I always wanted to try. It's a nice watch, and I got it. Let's try it. So I've had this one for now about 5 months, working really well. It costs like $2. So if it dies, big deal. So if you want a lot of watches for cheap, you could do it. When I got this, I also got this one, which is another Curren. This one is in black and gold. It weighs a lot. This thing is heavy. I think it's actually, it's the same model as this one. I think there's like slight differences in them, but it's basically the same thing. So it's in silver, this one is in black and gold. And I really enjoyed it. So I got to think, maybe my brother has a point. If you're not really caring about what, expensive watches or what materials the watches are made out of, maybe they should get some cheap Chinese watches. I mean, I've been doing it in a different thing. When I wear vests, which happens a lot in the winter when I'm allowed to go out and we don't have a COVID pandemic, I also like to wear a pocket watch with them. It's a little classy, it looks pretty nice, and you know what? I don't care what people think. and it does look pretty cool. So I have a few of them. I have here a few, for example. Right now I took the batteries out so nothing will happen to them when they're not being used for a while. I have this one, which is like a bronze color, the bronze chain. The insides are pretty much the same. I have a plain silver one. These are ones that I bought off that one's backwards. I bought off AliExpress, and they've lasted me, most of them, several years now. And just, replace the battery. That costs like, I go to a hardware store, they cost me like $1.50 a battery, if that. And I have some pretty nice pocket watches. So this watch, after 2 years, this Corin, the battery died, and I just put it on the shelf and said whatever. And then when I took the batteries out of this one, these pocket watches, I realized they're the same size as this, so I put it in and it still works. So now it's been working for about 2 weeks on that battery that's been in other watches, and going to start wearing it again because it's a nice looking watch. And even though it's cheap, Chinese, could be a replica of something, I don't think it is, but it could be. It's nice. I mean, this one is filthy, but I just have to, clean it off and it's good to go. These are not waterproof, nothing special about them. The complications in the back don't work. The buttons do, but the complications don't. But these are really nice watches. So maybe I've been thinking about this all wrong. I'm not going to give up expensive watches and wearing. I mean, these are mid-tier, not really expensive, but getting expensive watches. And I do have my eye on a particular watch. But you know what? Maybe I'll also start putting in these cheap Chinese watches into the rotation. I mean, they're nice. This one weighs nothing. This one weighs about the same thing as a Swiss military. It's a little smaller face. This is a 32 millimeter. This is, sorry, a 38 millimeter. I normally like around a 40. The Swiss military is a 39-ish when I measured it. The Fossil is a 40. And these are like 45s. I mean, these are huge. But, you know what? Maybe it's about time I start looking into Chinese watches. They may be cheap, but they're holding up really well. At least the ones I've had for a while. This one I've only had for 5 months. And if you want to see what I thought about it after wearing it for what did I do? I think I did it for a week of carrying $50 of an EDC challenge. I'll link that in the description. But hey, watches, cheap ones. Who knew? Anyhow, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about cheaper in price AliExpress watches, as long as they're not clones or copies of other companies. If they are, then I don't want them. But let me know what you think. And as always, see y'all on another day.